Good morning, Marwan.
Good morning, Jia.
صباح الخير, شو أخبارك?
All good.
All okay?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So let's start here very quickly by discussing how we met and where it all started and how we started working together.
Yeah. In fact, you manage EVOTEQ, but our relationship started a long time before. I think also when we met, most probably it was not even, I left SAP for a few years. So our relationship started, I think, when you were at Do at that time.
Yes, exactly.
And then, of course, when you joined EVOTEQ, this was where we had a partnership, direct business together before.
We had a lot of challenges
Yes,
in the beginning.
yes.
Yes. So we met. Yeah. Well, I was at Do. I was
Exactly.
working on the ICT Do, and then it
Yeah.
was good times then. Good time.
Yeah.
And that's how the relationship was built over time.
Yeah, in fact, Jihad, this is a very important point. I mean, many people, especially people who are coming from outside the region, they underestimate the value of relationship. I mean, this region here, this is the biggest asset we have, right? And it's a small market at the end. So when you create your brand, it will always stay with you within this. So to be frank, yeah, we had a great relationship, and this is helping us a lot. I mean, since you took over EVOTEQ, I think we did a lot of good stuff together.
So you're saying if I move roads and if you move roads, we'll still be working together.
Of course,
okay.
of course.
So do you want to tell them how we sort out problems over WhatsApp when we get escalations from the team, and then we share WhatsApps and solve it over WhatsApp?
We are a corporate publicly listed company, so there are a lot of guidelines, governance. I have to admit, we are one of the complex companies. I mean, people say IBM is the most complex, SAP is the second. So I don't know if this is the reality. But yeah, we always face these issues, and this is how we together, when we have these bottlenecks or the guys reach the deadlock, it's very simple. Call, WhatsApp, and then we make things happen. Of course, in a compliant way, but at the end, this relationship helps a lot when you have these type of challenges between teams.
You know what we call what we call SAP inside the organization? It's a bunch of lawyers, basically, and that's the challenge.
True.
And it's a reality. But seriously, I'm really impressed and amazed how most of the issues we face, and it sounds like it's not gonna be resolved, and at the end of the day we find a solution and we find a way out of it. So yeah. I'm happy and proud of what we're doing together.
Yeah, so you can imagine our teams are facing on daily basis these legal discussions, and they have to master it, because at the end you cannot only depend. So at least the L1 of legal discussion, we should be able to handle it as a team. But yes, I admit it's complex. But as you said, we always have to find a solution, and this is our role as leaders within both organizations.
Yeah. So then we moved. So that's how it started. Then Sharjah story.
Exactly.
When I moved to EVOTEQ and BIA, and
of course, everyone knows EVOTEQ is part of BIA. This is how it started initially. But I don't know if you know that the fact, Jihad, that I was the account manager of BIA. In fact, they were about to sign with Oracle at that time in 2013-14. And I convinced them that SAP is the right platform. And then after that, when EVOTEQ was created, this is where we started. Of course, you were managing, and today you're still managing the full IT landscape and all the stuff related there. Also, we had the engagement at, I think, the Sharjah municipality at that time. Yeah. Sharjah. So I think when EVOTEQ started, of course, you can talk more about it, but you came with some big problems to handle on both sides. So, but really, these were, for us, BIA is one of the unique projects also we have in the region, not only in UAE. And thank you for the partnership and all the support there.
Yeah. Actually, so BIA. So when I joined in 2019, so EVOTEQ was a young organization at the time, and we're one of the BIA group companies. We're owned by BIA, and we're tasked to digitalize, if I may, BIA, and then support on the Sharjah transformation story and beyond Sharjah, the UAE, and beyond. And my first interaction at EVOTEQ was definitely with SAP, with a lot of challenges at the time with Sharjah City Municipality that we worked out together. BIA, in fact, is the first, I think, SAP account in Sharjah.
Yeah.
So
it is the first waste management. Technically, I remember that time I had to bring experts from Germany and Europe to support the case. I mean, in that industry specifically, we didn't have any client who, because, you know, BIA is also very much advanced when it comes to sustainability and the waste to energy and all this stuff.
I cannot take the credit for that, to be honest. That's before I joined, and that's the credit goes to my chairman and the group CEO of BIA, Khalid Hraim. He's one of the most visionary transformation,
that's true.
People I met, I think. He wanted BIA to be the first in Sharjah. He pushed for the Sharjah municipality deal as well.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, this is how the journey started between SAP and EVOTEQ. So you manage with our support, the municipality and BIA, of course, we're doing a lot of great stuff together. But what's unique about EVOTEQ is Tatmeen. I mean, today, even within SAP, when we say EVOTEQ means Tatmeen. When we say Tatmeen, means EVOTEQ. So, and maybe you give more details. I know it was a common idea at that time. It took many years to when we talked to the Minister of Health, and maybe so you take us through the story, or
when I joined, it was the whole discussion was always inside EVOTEQ, the corridors, inside the BIA group level. It was always about, you know, track and trace for pharma and the relationship with the Ministry of Health. So we won the bid with the Ministry of Health, and we were proud that we partnered with the SAP on this. Okay, so that was a public-private partnership. Started with the Ministry of Health. Now it's with the Emirates Drug Establishment, EDE. It was really an amazing journey, because a young organization with not a lot of references in the market to be able to pull this out, and the SAP reference helped definitely in the tender. So the competition was using their own solution. And in fact, so we used the ATTP solution, and we were discussing this last week, Marwan. We're the only level 5 SAP ATTP implementation in the world at the nationwide level.
That's in fact that's very unique, Jihad. And to be frank, I have to reveal a secret. When I meet the top SI's partners, I always tease them that we have with a smaller partner much more strategic and bigger project than what we do with them as normal implementation and so on. And I think the last few years, I tried my best to support you, because, I manage UAE, to take it outside the region, at least on the regional level, and hopefully later at a global level. I think you made some also successes in other places to take the same platform. Maybe for the people who do not know Tatmeen, it's technically the full track and trace of any medicine coming in and out of UAE, which is a big thing.
It's one of the most complete implementation worldwide, if I may. So in Europe, they only check in and out. They don't. We probably scan in a lifetime of the medicine box around 12 to 13 times, from manufacturing to customs to warehouse to supply chain to hospital, pharmacy, dispensation. It's a long journey of scanning, and we have really one of the most complete track and trace cycle. And fast forward really now, so we have huge numbers now of medicine boxes. So that's a nationwide project across the country, and it really helped us. I mean, we can't have this without mentioning the crisis that happened. During the crisis, we worked very closely with the Emirates Drug Establishment, with EDE and the leadership in EDE, to produce a lot of meaningful insights of what's happening in the country and where the status of medicine and medicine is across the country. And it was really insightful, impactful as well analysis.
See, I mean, again, I want to repeat it. Really, Tatmeen for me, and I always say it in recently when we were in Sapphire in Madrid, where we had many customers from UAE. Tatmeen is the most successful track and trace project that I saw personally globally, especially in the pharma world, right? Because as you explained, it's really tracking everything in and out, and I'm sure, I mean, the government is benefiting big time from from this platform that
yeah, I'm not gonna comment on the government side. They will comment, but definitely, I mean, we got a good praise from the leadership of EDE as well on the success of what happened and the benefit of the program.
Yeah.
Can it improve? Of course, it can improve.
Course,
And you mentioned also, so based on this success, you were asking me about international rules. So based on the success of so really it's a reference in the region. We received a letter of award to deploy track and trace also using SAP ATTP technology in Egypt. Okay, so Egyptian market is a huge market, right? Compared to the volume of the UAE.
Yeah. Okay. So good. See, I think also, I mean, just to add on this success we had together on Tatmin and the track and trace, and we had many discussions before, even during the World Government Summit we had with some of the entities here. We were both trying to take this track and trace from pharma to other industries as well. So I think it's worth highlighting some of the ideas we discussed and some of the initiatives we are working on together.
Yeah. So our brand is, so the product brand, our platform. So Tatmin is the UAE track and trace for pharma projects. So that's our brand is called Track, TRAQ, capital Q like EVOTEQ. So Track is our traceability platform. And we want to expand this. So we have Track Pharma, which is the first implementation. We're looking at Track Auto, Track Parts. We're looking at Track Food. And this is the collaboration we're discussing with multiple organizations inside the UAE and potentially also for us outside the UAE. And thank you. When we go out, I always rely on you to introduce us to SAP, local teams in other countries. So Track Part, Track Pharma. So if we can track medicines, okay, we can track anything. Exactly. Anything that has a serial number, we can track as well. Okay? That's really the power of the platform.
In fact, I mean, when Sheikh Mohammed announced the national program for supply chain resilience, and we had to be frank as SAP, some good successes and use cases where some customers during the conflict specifically to track some of their shipments and so on, and our solution helped a lot. But this is key. I mean, when I saw this, the first thing I thought of is the track and trace and what we are doing together in pharma, how we can take it on a global or on the country level on different type of items and products.
So His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, when he launched the initiative, we started talking to a lot of government organizations. And we are ready. The UAE is ready, right? We have platforms like Tatmin. We have the ability, we have local talent that can deliver such, ambitious programs. We have organizations like EVOTEQ, backed up by BIA, obviously, that invest into PPP programs to deliver such projects. And this is really the power of it. So we take all the headache from the government and we leave them with visibility. And visibility is key.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, probably, if you talk about supply chain resilience, you'd talk about overstocking. You talk about guaranteeing that the warehouses are full. Now it's a total different. Now it's a total different perspective. Now we talk about visibility. True. We talk about the ability to know how long it takes for supplier to deliver. All those analytics and statistics are there in the platform. That will allow government to make sure that the resiliency is there.
In fact, as I told you before, I'm really excited about this because there are a lot of things we can do together and we can help the country technically to be ready. Like it was done in the pharma, we can do it in other strategical type of products or items, especially in the food space, as we said. The other thing which is also worth talking about, we were talking about BIA, and as we speak, we are moving BIA to RISE and the latest platform of SAP. And all of this is just what we call the platform to start enabling all the AI and the autonomous features and so on. I'm sure you are doing a lot of AI stuff around the track and trace, but also this is a big thing now, especially with the announcement of Sheikh Mohammed to have agentic AI in 2 years, like 50% of the government services should have also agentic AI part of the process.
Marwan, it can't be better. The intersection of data that we sit on, be it, EVOTEQ or SAP in general. I mean, you're a database company after all. And the agentic AI that is coming, you know, most LLM and frontiers model, their main focus so far was on public data, right? They consumed all the data in the world, terabytes of millions of data. The next frontier is the data behind the firewall, what we call the data behind the firewall, and that's extremely important. And we sit on this type of data. I think we used to say data is the new oil. Now, data behind the firewall is the new oil, and that's extremely important and very powerful. Yes. So what we did during the crisis, as an example, we did a lot of analysis, and really AI is very strong at seeing patterns that humans do not see. So we humans are not trained to see small patterns and deviation, where AI can crunch terabytes of data and see those patterns. And this is where AI can help tremendously in analyzing data.
And I mean, just that's a good point you raised. Thank you for the data behind the firewall. So this is what we call business data in our terms. And this is why our agentic, or recently, as you know, we announced the SAP vision around autonomous enterprise. And just to summarize it for you very quickly. So as you said, data is the heart, is everything. But what's the data coming here, or what you call the data behind the firewall, this is coming from the application, the processes. And this is the bread and butter of SAP for the last 52 years. So if you have robust applications generating for you this solid data, which is trusted data, this is where you can build then the business AI platform. And the good thing, what we did in SAP, this business AI platform, two things technically. One, we are building what we call the knowledge graph. It's like the Google Map. So for the agent, if you are building your own agent or an SAP agent, it will know every data point, more than 7 million data points in SAP that will be available for these agents to understand and move between them in a very smooth way. And the second one is it's an open platform. As you said, today we have many LLMs. Some LLMs are strong in certain use cases, others in other. So you as a customer, you can decide which LLM you want for which use case. You can build your AI agent within SAP platform or outside, and then it will be fully integrated through the agent-to-agent protocols and so on. Technically, this is the autonomous enterprise that SAP is talking about. By September, the first batch of assistants or agents will be available, and in December we will have almost more than 200 of these available.
And this will be available to all deployments?
All customers. The important thing here is, as I said, the readiness of the customer should be, if you already have your applications in place, is the data piece. So and this is where we have our product, we call it Business Data Cloud, where you can integrate with any data lake, Microsoft, Snowflake, whatever.
So can I rephrase what you said? So we're moving AI from being used currently in organization to draft emails, which is really the worst use case, to basically the ability to take decisions inside the organization.
Exactly,
right?
100%.
Currently, the model I struggle to understand is why we're still raising requests and getting them approved as per the policy. Why can't agents take those decisions and 100%. Free people's mind to do other things? 100%. And that's really the powerful.
So this is what we call the autonomous. And if you look at the supply chain, for example, specifically, so we have different assistants that we call them. It starts from planning to manufacturing to the logistics part and then to the maintenance part. So all of these will be fully automated through the agents. Now, the agents will still involve people to take decision. It will give options till the customer feels that the agent is always giving the right alternative or the right decision.
We humans like control.
Exactly.
We like to control technical decision. Let technology make its own decisions.
Exactly. So once you trust this, and you should trust it because, as you mentioned, it's my data at the end, where the agent is just checking my data and telling me what my data is saying.
And checking my policies and checking my organization structure, governance, all of those things. So there's a lot of work. I mean, I was discussing with the colleague last time on digital transformation in general, and AI strategies and all of those things. And really, it's extremely essential to change the underlying structure of the processes, the underlying governance, to benefit more and more from AI instead of using it again as a side assistant to check our to correct our emails.
Yeah. So this is very important. I think many organizations in UAE, they realize this. It's not about implying an agent, a use case. If you are not ready from application and data perspective, you will fail, or you will not get the value that you need out of it. So today, most of the organization, and we are working with some very strategic projects here, it's the application, the data, and now they started building the enterprise or using the enterprise AI platform to build these agents based on the use cases that will create biggest value. It's not only about automation and efficiency and so on. It's really bringing value to it. And the beauty of all of this, so our aim as SAP that maybe not in few years, in 1 year or 2 years, that you don't use any screen. You have your copilot, we call it a Joule, and you ask any question. Joule should take any action, should give you all the insights. At the same time, it can integrate with copilots like Microsoft, where it manages non-SAP data or Microsoft-related data and so on. So this autonomous enterprise really is the vision of SAP, and we are on the right direction. In a few months, you will see really some companies in UAE who will be autonomous using our technology.
Okay, it's extremely interesting, and the way I see now the future for us. So if you bring it back to the supply chain, okay, the resiliency on the supply chain, the visibility we give, gathering all this transactional type of data, using AI, then the future would be very boring, right, for that industry. So the future will be uneventful. There are no events, there are no shortages, there are not a lot of decisions hopefully being made by humans in terms of reordering, and the focus shift tremendously to focusing on other things to create more value from the time you have. That's really phenomenal. It's it's something, but that's coming very soon. That's not the future. We used to see this in movies. Now we're seeing this happening.
In fact, this is the biggest challenge we all have, the fast pace that we have. And this is, for me, I explained to you SAP vision, what will be in the coming few years. What about EVOTEQ vision with all these things? So where you see EVOTEQ in the coming 2, 3 years, even 5 years?
So our main focus now is to create visibility at government level, right? Visibility, transparency. So we see ourselves creating trust in different industries. Okay, we definitely use technology, right? So we'll use technology, but as I always say, technology is the easiest part, at least for us. That's not a big challenge. So we need to focus more and more with our clients, with the public-private partnership. Hopefully, we're planning is to look at the underlying problem of processes and governments more than technology. So what happened, for instance, in one implementation, when you design the governance and the process in corporate offices, the process fails, right? You need to understand what's happening on the ground level. And this is where the holistic approach of designing the governance in advance before deploying the technology really is extremely important. And the focus definitely shifts into deploying AI. But the main challenge would be moving from digitalization, where most organizations are stuck today, to AI first model, which is an ambition, but the real moonshot is AI native service. So providing, and this is where the future is. We're hoping to provide AI native service in the future rather than focusing on digitization and AI first approaches.
Good. I think it was a great. Thank you again for it was a nice discussion. We
thank you very much for your time.
More of this.
Yes, we should. We do this over coffee, but maybe doing it a bit formal is also of interest.
And hopefully, very soon we announce some also similar strategic projects like Tatmeen, because really we need to have more Tatmeens in other industries as well.
Yes, definitely.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marwan.